likely going to be Gremlin.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we take a look at this bracket, see how these teams have progressed up to this point, and, well, you know, Bubba, I mean, wow. This roster has been unstoppable in final round. The only time that they have stumbled was in cash out, and Hyper.
Yeah, and I mean, we're heading back to Bernal, like we talked about, double light, which, I mean, is going to be going up against this double heavy. I would imagine they're sticking to it. That being said, you do have that invis on the side of Cafaneo. It could cause a little bit of a wrench if you make that double light think twice about their positioning. That could be the difference maker here. Caf needs to kind of pop off and find these picks early on, or we need to force these points inside so the double heavy can thrive.
I immediately saw in the infantry sonar grenade. That is going to massively help counter Caf. We know he will gargoyle over any spots that he has. So that counter will make it harder to allow that rotation to come through. And for Bernal, I think rotation is probably the critical points you have to talk about, as those initial damages will start to come through. And the aggression from Gremlin, he's comfortable. He knows he's got support.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Swalko's going to take a big chunk of damage from that Shack 50, but honestly, if I was that double heavy, I'd be dropping down, forcing the fight up close ultimately, but I mean, it's just going to be Caf left alone on the side of Pulsar, going to be taken down by Uni. I mean, ultimately, I think Pulsar should be playing a little bit slower. Playing inside these buildings, you can really play to the flavor of that winch. With that double heavy, you have two big RPGs. You just do so much damage. And I mean, Envy doesn't have a winch on their side. They're playing mesh. So you're gonna have to try and find an early pick with those RPGs, force these lights to kind of swing in and out of inside these buildings. You have to take them out with those RPGs, find the value on the util. That being said, we do have cash out B over here, which I don't think is that awful for a double heavy comp to kind of push in. It's not that amphitheater, it's not that cathedral, it ain't that church. So we'll see if they can do it here.
There's also a lot of cover as well. So rotating across, is that a brilliant surprise? I do not think Gremlin saw that one coming from a mile off. And this is huge as the damage starts to go through. Gremlin having to thankfully escaped with his life. Also, Llama, BFR Titan. I just spotted that in his hands. The amount of times I have been told that gun is not viable, not competitive, doesn't belong in this game. Hello, it is here in this knockout.
It's definitely good against a double light composition. If you get a winch on one of them, like you already said, you pop that reverse L, you hit him right in the head with a quick melee, and they're gone. But that being said, you do have that poke potential, but here comes the fight, breaking out, the dome going down. Llama trying to find a little bit of that flank on one of those lights, but it's not going to be found. Gremlin trying to push in a little bit, but not gonna be able to mantle over that goo. With Pulsar up on this high ground, we do see Envy trying to get this high ground of their own. Gremlin gonna be taking that zip, but it's not gonna be out without the damage. Not Bubba does go down. Uni fires back, taking out Cafaneo. Then it's gonna be Llama at 1 bar left. We have to see value come out from Swalko here as Gremlin is forced to reload in this fight, but he's done enough distraction for Uni to find those picks.
Brilliant. Gremlin rotated. He saw that that Envy did not have height, they did not have control, so instead Gremlin said to his team, right, keep the pressure on, I'm going to go up this zipline, come from a different angle, and this granted him height, and that was what Pulsar was winning. Height control, left, right, and center. Soon as the RPG comes down, thankfully dropped both the Pulsar players down, and the rest is history. Brilliant rotation. Gremlin, hats off to you.
Yeah, I mean, great rotation, like you said, to that high ground, but now it's going to be Pulsar actually making their first push over on the cash out B. They did a beautiful job at catching them off guard, but Cafaneo now gargoyling over on that right side, over on that corner of the building. We talked about that invis light gargoyling, but I mean, just not close enough. Going to be throwing a glitch, be rotate and maybe catch Gremlin off guard, but Not Bubba's going to take a big RPG as Llama goes down. Not Bubba finally going to be dropped, and it's going to be up to Uni to try and get Cafaneo off of Gremlin's back. Gremlin dropping as well. Uni, last one left. 1 HP left. Going to be going for that revive on the side of Cafaneo, and that's going to be a 2v1 situation, and beautiful push from Pulsar.
Beautifully done. Uni tried to go for that little poke damage, stall off that res at the end, but Again, we saw it before. When there's a lack of players and individually left alone, that pressure mounts up onto Envy. And, well, the reason they got down to lower bracket was because Bubba was left alone and, well, they couldn't stop 2 other teams. Similar situation on this final phase of this cash out. Couldn't stall enough time.
I think we're going to see a big stall. I mean, with double heavy, I just don't know how you take this. You have 2 RPGs, you have 2 domes. Like, there's only about 15 seconds left. They're going to be trying to get this gateway. The sonar goes out, and now it's going to be the opportunity. But Uni taking a large amount of damage. Gremlin trying to finally triangulate on this point. He gets on it. We need to see a drop. Gremlin's uncontested on this box. Finally get up there to Swalko, take him out. That was a little bit spooky, but it looks like Swalko taking out 2. Uni and Gremlin over here, and it's just going to be not Bubba left. Swalko now ego challenging you, not Bubba, but not gonna be able to find that 3rd pick. It's gonna be Cafaneo versus not Bubba, both in Viz right now, just waiting for this fight to happen.
Hard resets can go through on both sides. I don't believe any of the totems. Yeah, that totem pile up in the middle is going to be critical, and Pulsar will say thank you. The Ego Chow will be victorious. And Pulsar, I think a little bit of a writing off from our side, saying that this map was more favorable to Envy, but that first sight and the surprise of spawning out of nowhere in front of Envy, I would honestly say from that first fight, Pulsar is looking like the stronger team hands down, not even closely.
And I think Gremlin just not finding the uptime that he needs. Ultimately, I mean, he's finding some good damage, but when Cafaneo pushed in, he caught him reloading, was able to find enough damage on top of Uni as well, and Swalko just cleaning up. I mean, just beautiful peels from the entire Pulsar team right now, but the game is kind of in Pulsar's control. They have a little bit of map control. I wouldn't give them entirety of that map control with the double lights. You can gateway to one of these points, and they're so far away. That being said, I do think Envy probably wants to go to cash out C. It looks like it might be in that amphitheater area. It's going to be a beautiful point for them to play on this double light, but we'll have to see how their rotation goes.
Decoys? Yes, indeed. It looks like a decoy play, sending both the lights to C. And then Kremlin's moving towards A. Of course, naturally, they're going to see eventually the vault is moving in a different direction, but it gives them breathing room, gives them that space to have a free pathway, uncontested, few seconds of setup. I don't think it'll be much, but it will be enough to be composed.
I think that was relatively decent for Pulsar, not having that C plugged in. I think forcing them this way was a little bit more advantageous, but now, like you said, they're still on the defense, or still on that offense. They have to make this push. With this high ground, I mean, this is very dangerous. Gremlin, Uni, and Bubba could be taking multiple angles over here as Gremlin taking a little bit of damage, pulls up that mesh shield, and just resets.
Footsteps, all heard above. And finally, some bullets raining down. Cashbox has been dropped to the ground floor, so in terms of stealing, Pulsar could bunker themselves in, but in this situation, it's too early to play such an aggressive steal strat. Instead, they're trying to force Envy to rotate off height, which they are slowly doing with the steal starting to go through again, mainly to force a lack of height. All in doing so, Envy starting to panic here as more damage lands onto them. Bubba will get the first.
Yeah, and that's not going to be enough. Bubba finds 2, taking down Swalko. Both those heavies going down. It's just going to be Cafaneo last up. Honestly, play for those coins, but he's going to be going in aggro. He's going to be finding that pick, and he may find the pick on Bubba. He takes out 2.
What? Oh my!
How did he do that?
Caf stood alone. And now the pressure is on Envy. They have to spawn.
Wow.
They have to rotate over. The coins will come through from Pulsar and they will spawn closer. I'm not writing it off just yet, but it's looking all so strong for Pulsar to 2-0 Envy and qualify back into the upper bracket here.
I am absolutely speechless. I don't see how they get this. They're using that invis bomb to rotate. It's like I said, that double heavy composition. How do they even get on this box? With not Bubba dropping immediately. Cafaneo gonna be taken out by Gremlin, but there is no time. Pulsar 2-0ing Envy.
Oh my! Cafanero! He's a household name with this seed. He pops up here and there. He doesn't... We've not classed him as a world-class player, but he has shown today that that name will spread across the scene. Wow!
Absolutely beautiful work by Pulsar. And I mean, this is what Pulsar does best. You know, formerly known as Team Retwist, they have been around the arena quite a bit, and Envy has typically been a team that they have struggled against. But you know, actually just last month, we saw them up against Envy in the Crest League, and well, Pulsar beat them then. Then there was the Code Big Leagues #2. Pulsar was able to stand up in the final round and do more and more good stuff, but this is Pulsar continuing to show that up against Envy, they have the chops. Envy is a very particular team, and hey, there's a lot of tape on them. You do enough VOD review, you can do this, but wow, Cafaneo.
Llama.
9 elims. Llama just